Zero Cool here, back again with another video, and oh god, guess we get to finally say it out loud. Finding Xavier, come on, man. That's pretty much what we've been looking forward to for I don't know how long. Been a minute, been a good second, I guess. So might as well do what we could do. See how we can get along here. Just go ahead and keep it going. So, oh, the Professor Xavier saga, epic conclusion is coming, and we were already given a little bit of information on it. There was gonna be like 50, 60 plus missions that you got to do, and yeah, you kind of got to do it. So basically, we're gonna go over it for a bit. So there's gonna be 4 bosses that you're gonna have to beat to get to Professor Xavier, and there's a lot of little traits and stuff that you got to get to, so you might as well just go ahead and just yell right now. But you're gonna have to face Nimrod, Gladiator, Shadow King, and Dark Xavier as bosses for each individual chapter that you're going through. So you do recognize the bar there. It looks exactly like the one that we got with Null. So hey, you're gonna see some stuff there, but you'll see it just up there. How far you got to go? 250. 250,000 looks kind of weak, but then again, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they change that. I think that was just a whatever, but someone's gonna notice it and be like, "Oh my God, he's got no health." Yeah, he's gonna have some health. It's gonna be an issue. These bosses are not like the characters you possess on their roster, though they may look familiar. The bosses of this saga have a few surprises up their sleeves that'll slant the battlefield in their direction, which means they will probably be just like Null in Battle World, where you won't be able to do some of the stuff that Null does once you go ahead and unlock him. So he's going to be a different little character there, and he's going to be a little bit difficult to beat. So probably going to have to sit there and figure it out for a little bit, how you're going to get through each of them. But you'll need a minimum of G17 to access the first Nimrod mission. You'll see lower down once we get closer to it that what the requirements are. But each boss and their missions feature 3 difficulty levels: hard, heroic, and extreme. And you're going to have multiple missions along with that. However, you will need to earn 3 stars on every mission across all 4 bosses to unlock Professor Xavier. So it's kind of no different than what was with Apocalypse, where you needed to have 3 stars on every mission to keep going. So here's the one where you need to have 3 stars on every mission to keep going. Obviously, if you're a newer player, getting to G17 probably be a little rough, and it's going to be a little to get to. But with the more mid-game players and obviously Krakens, mid-game players, you have G17 enough G17 to go around, plus G18 and probably a good chunk of G19 that might help you get to where you need based on the requirements. But it's still going to be, you're going to need 3 stars to go through it. So the Professor X Saga is a massive multi-phase event featuring over 50 missions that'll put your roster to the test. So, whew. Mission nodes have specific trait requirements. They're nothing outrageous, but they are there. So, you're gonna need to strategize to make sure you get exactly what you need to go with. Each node has a minimum gear tier requirement as well. So with the early missions, it's starting off a little earlier. G17, G18, no big deal. You'll have the freedom to choose teams within these restrictions, so theorycraft your way to victory, which is great. Each missions will have will reward valuable resources to help power up your roster for the later, more difficult battles. And we've asked for some difficulty, so I guess we're probably gonna get it. But here's the way it's gonna look for the number of missions that are going with, and for what you got to get. So what you need to get there. So the first three difficulties there for hard, heroic, and extreme. Basically, for Nimrod, you could use any traits what you have as long as you meet G17, G18, and G19, which shouldn't be an issue. Gladiator, you're gonna have to bring in city characters. Doesn't matter what city characters. There's nothing restricting it. It's basically city characters. So G19 shouldn't be a problem, but G20. Yeah, there you go. Gonna have to acquire those G20 to put them on those characters, and we could probably go through a separate video to see what's happening with that. But this is going to be a crazy outcry for what you're gonna do for City. But there's I would assume probably the better characters, Blade, Oath. Probably gonna have to bring in a couple of spiders just to go ahead and round them out, because you're gonna need some harder hitting characters to go with, and the healing too. So that should probably take a second. Shadow King is a pain to begin with, so having him on defense and then having him some tricks up his sleeves to go ahead and throw you off, that's going to be a problem too. So starting off in hard, you're going to need G19. That's just regular global, so you could use global anything there. But here, for the next heroic and extreme missions, you're going to need villains global and then heroes global. So you can kind of build up 10 characters if need be to go through the first 4 missions, and then going through heroic and extreme, you probably bring in those 5 villains that you beefed up, or those 5 heroes that you beat up for global. I'm thinking more of, oof, man, you got a lot of characters in here. Cabal with maybe Lady Deathstrike, Agatha going around her because she hits like a truck. Heroes global, man. Back then when we were going for Odin, we were trying out Illuminati, and that was pretty interesting. Plus Nightcrawler and Black Knight, but there are a few more globals out there, so might have to really look over those. And the main dish for this whole for the whole ending here is Dark Xavier, and I'm pretty sure whatever Xavier's kit is, it's probably just going to be bonkers, and then you're going to have the dark version, which is going to be even more bonkers. So hard's going to do G19, so that's cosmic, which entails a lot of characters, don't get me wrong. But then G20 is gonna for the heroic mission, villains cosmic, which limits your characters a little bit much, but there are a lot of cosmic characters and villains, so should be able to go ahead and have some fun there. And then extreme, that's G20, 6 missions for that, and you're gonna need Lelandra and basically 4 more hero cosmic characters, so you're gonna have to choose those wisely to go ahead and push them all the way out there with it and go whoever. But I think you kind of already know who you kind of can use there with her, but you could choose others to go with her, because might be a little bit more advantageous. But if you got that, it's now time to sit there, and once we do get G20, which is coming this week, because hey, well, not coming this week, it is going to be in one of the events for what you do based on when you're going for it. So one of the events will unlock G20, so it'll arrive basically next week, the following week. So you'll get it after the event is over, but you will be able to start getting those G20s and start putting them on characters. At least here, you kind of know already where you could use them. So Professor X himself will be a full 7-star unlock. Don't ask about red stars. Just don't. To complete the saga and recruit them, you'll need characters equipped with the upcoming Gear Tier 20, which arrives on March 17th at 2 p.m., which is basically, when the event ends. Probably won't be right then and there. It'll probably be a day after, and then you'll get G20 based on where you land on the leaderboard. They are giving out G20 to basically everybody, but in minimal amounts. And when I say minimal amounts, I mean minimal amounts. So it's gonna be a little bit, yeah, you're gonna have to hoard. So prepare to hoard again. That's what we wanted to do. Upgrading characters to G20 will use G20 mini uniques, which you can earn through upcoming events, and then spend X coins in the limited time X coin shop on G20 mini uniques of your choice. So you'll be able to have some control over what you want to buy and what you want to get. But remember, there are through events, and you're going to have to work a little bit hard to get them. So it's going to be a rough one there. The road to Professor X is a true test of your roster's strength and strategy. But for those who are worthy, one of the most powerful minds in the Marvel Universe will be yours to command. So when are you thinking when this is coming? Bam! So screw it. Take off a day at work. Just tell school you're not coming in. April 14th is when it happens. Obviously, Krakens are gonna go nuts, and they're gonna go ahead and unlock this sucker probably day 1 if they got G20s. But if they don't, they're gonna be waiting. But there's gonna be a lot to go through here. I'm hoping this is difficult. We're praying it is, and if it is, it should be interesting to go through. But man, this has been a long time coming. I have personally been waiting for, obviously, Professor X. Duh. But Hey, get your roster ready. Start getting ready for those X coins that are coming in an event, and get ready to unlock Professor X. Cause hey, he's gonna bring it all, man. To me, my X-Men.